les arbitres suisses. Royaume-Uni, UK, please. Maybe UK. Yes, UK.
I'm James. Here we've got Andy, James, Mac, Martin, Mike, Tom, Dom, Matt, Charlie, and Liam.
Et la Suisse U18.
Alors, on a d'abord Arnaud, Noam, Arnaud, Robin, Achille, Malo, Damien, Declan, Noé, Niat et Jocelyn.
Time for a coin draw.
Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the fifth place playoff between the UK men and the under-18 Switzerland team. Join us as the teams are taking to the field, just about to start. that the UK have won the coin toss and will start McKean from the back line. Just a quick chat with the referees here. On paper, you'd expect a senior UK team to come out on top here, but the Swiss M18s will be a very skillful side, so this commentator's prediction curse coming up, but this should be a fairly even game. Arena music still playing. We're just waiting till another few seconds until the official start time of 2:50 p.m. here in Switzerland. Chat between Tom McKean and the referee there. Okay, lining up with James Skilton there on the right, with Martin Wright and Tom McKean, and the four down the other end. We'll get started in a minute. The refs have their arm raised, indicating play can begin when the main referee moves his hand forward. And we're off. McKean back to Cummins. And that's short from Mike Emery for the UK, so the UK back line. UK will be keen to start quickly, having been taught quite a harsh lesson against the Italian B team last night in the quarter-final. Good shot from James Skilton there. Pass to Rocha in defence for the Swiss. Lovely shot down the line there from the left-hander. The number 9, Declan Tomasi. Very good shot. Clearly Mike Emery's going to have a bit on his plate today. UK turning it back to the same end to James Dale. Shoots and scores. Unlucky from Repon. It's 2-all. Predicted it might go point for point. It'll probably come down to defence as to who's able to stop the most shooters here. Goes through McKean and Skilton there from the left shooter. So two left-handed left shooters. I imagine there'll be some fairly quick switching over the D between the left and right-handers. Goes up to right. Shoots, well caught there by the number 27, Hurliman. Great hands from Emery against Tomasi. Dispatches the shot. Great play from Mike Emery there on the right. Difficult shot to catch. Does well. Plucks it very nicely and immediately shoots back. So a nice turnover there for the UK. Switzerland have the ball. Very nice spin shot there from Tomasi, the number 9. As we see on the replay, he goes up, changes his arm, and brings it out to the left-hand side of Cummins on the line. James Skilton called for his last 2 feet, weren't in court. He was probably just outside the baseline there, so it would be a breakdown for Switzerland. Going to the defender first, probably a few passes over the D here. Yep, and here he comes on the left. Tomasi again. UK are going to have to sort that defence out on the right there. There's 4 of them, and as yet the left-hander hasn't gone square, so we would expect them to focus on that right side to defend against it. It was a good shot from James Dale. Head height over Repon. The Swiss defender there. Swiss bring it in, leading 5-4. As predicted, it's fairly close so far. Really looking for turnovers from the teams here. That's raised, shooting past Martin Wright and Tom McKean. It's a good shot, goes through the middle of them. Catchable height though, so we'd expect to get some arms on that. That's framed from Emery, unfortunately for the UK. Swiss will resume. Rice over the D. It's the number 18 again, Noam Rocha. Scores another good shot. UK will be looking at their defence though. There's quite a few that have come through sort of chest height. They're not going over the top, over the shoulder. They'll be looking to get some arms on that, looking to get the ball up in the air. James Dale shoots. That's a lovely shot. Spun it slightly to the side. Catching Repon out again on the right-hand side. Race comes in. That's a big shot. A lot of power in that, especially for an M18 player. However, it was landing, so McKean will resume play. Goes down to Dale, who shoots again. James Dale having a good time down there, shooting. It's coming out shoulder to head height, but it's dipping just before the second line. And Malo just getting out of the way of that on front line. He'll be quite pleased he did, because that was going at quite a pace. Swiss bringing it in from the back line. Race coming in again. Switches. Tom McKean makes the catch. Good turnover for the UK here. One of the first turnovers we've had so far. Emery shoots, but caught by the Swiss. They're just waiting for that, unfortunately. Cummins makes the catch. Important to shut down that left shooter for the UK because he's having quite a lot of joy. And that's landing given first to a very grateful James Skilton, who tries the two-handed shot, but Switzerland come in, take a quick breakdown. The UK were not prepared there. Tom McKean does his best, but there's a lot to cover there for the UK number 8. UK not really recovering and getting their shape back after that, and a quick breakdown from the Swiss means that they score a point. Goes to right, to Skilton, who puts it down the other end to Emery, that's a great shot, but he had his foot on the line. Just his foot inside the D on takeoff there. So let's go along to Rice. Skilton takes the turnover and shoots back. Classic James Skilton moment that, from playing with and against him in the UK. A very quick catch on front line, poised and then shoots square. That's a good catch from Emery in defence there. You can see the UK have rearranged themselves so that Cummins, who's not a right shooter, but he's a defender, will be guarding against that left-hand shot. And Mike Emery's coming inside as the shooter, but in a defensive role so that they can have the stronger defender against the rather troublesome Swiss shooter down the end there, Tomasi. Breakdown down here. UK number 8, Tom McKean, resumes. So Andy Cummins to James Dale. Dale looks up at the second line shot, elects to pass to Emery again, another foot on line unfortunately for him. Swiss lead 8-7, very close stuff. It's a good pick up front line, but it's a good shot from Race there. He's seen that the high shot wide, there's very hard to reach second line for the UK men there. He's put it in the gap and had a lot of joy. Again, another spun shot through from James Dale on the left. Spun that through to Repon, who again hasn't managed to hold it. Goes first to Race for the Swiss. Yeah, travelling just a slight touch of the foot down when he took the ball initially, and then another few steps, meaning that's contact with the ground when he received it, +3. That's more than 3 steps, so it's travelling. Skilton comes in and right. Shoots short. Trying the reverse-handed shot, bit of a trademark of Martin Wright from the UK. Comes up, pushes it down the line there, but doesn't touch the frame, even though it lands in court. That's a point lost. Cummins just flaps at the ball a little bit there. He's dropped that. Coming in on the triple, nice and quickly. Good switching from the Swiss there. Real Malo with the final touch, the left-hander putting it just out of the way of Mike Emery on the right. Swiss getting hands on that ball now. Good hands from Mike Emery there. Landing given. Mike Emery certainly defending very well when he's playing as a defender, having a bit of a tough time out on the right defending as a shooter though, so it looks like a good change tactically the UK have made there. Mine right goes square, just inside the left shooter and the defender. Jocelyn Dorth gets a hand on it, but unfortunately can't hold it. Back for the Swiss to the left shooter. Hits the frame, never pleasant as a defender when that happens, when it hits the frame and comes at you in a very unexpected angle. UK goes short from defender to defender, so there's one pass left here. That'll be to Skilton, who's got to shoot. UK not backing up their defence there. Wright staying in position, but Skilton manages to score. Very good shot considering the distance he had to make up there. Got to go here, another good shot from Tomasi. A lot of the time when there's 4 on the line, teams will actually defend in a 3 and a 1, meaning that one of the shooters will not bother to go across to defend the shot, and they'll be there in case of the switch. And that could potentially work for the UK were they to try it, because they're defending 2 very wide shooters. Rice with the shot, but lands. It'll be interesting to see what the UK do tactically to control that 4 end, because there are quite a few points coming through there now from the Swiss. Good catching from the Swiss. Great squeezing together in defence there. There's no way the ball's getting through. Landing given against the right shooter. Skilton gets the ball across to right. And that's short. It's hit him. Gone for the spectacular there, Martin Wright. Unfortunately, it comes off the frame and then onto him, trying to put it back behind him, but not quite enough clearance on the jump to do that. Great hands from Repon there, reaching Dale's shot very nicely. Swiss lead 13-10, opening up a small lead here. Good hands from Martin Wright on defence there. Nice cheer as he got. Dale's got the ball, one more pass to Emery, who's steaming in. Frame ball given, quick Swiss breakdown. Down to Rice at the other end. He's going to shoot. Scores past Tom McKean, number 8. That hit him in the lower abdomen, as commentators like to say. So it doesn't look too sore, thankfully. Rion takes the ball again to Race. It's a nice looking 0 from Hurleman, but foot on line there. So Tom McKean will restart. Shot from Emery. Bit too much power for the Swiss defence there. It's a good point. Was at the Swiss defence, but there's a lot of pace in that shot. It's across to Race. Good coverage from Emery on third line, doing his job well there. Spot on position. Right shoots, it's caught by Race on the line. Not enough movement from the UK there. Landing given again against Repon. Good shot from Dale. James Dale shooting well down that end, finding the gaps between the Swiss players. Swiss are in a 3 down there, so it makes sense for UK to move the ball down that end where there are fewer defenders. Even if those defenders are more skilled, a good range of shots is going to test them more than against the 4. There's Tomasi down the line again. UK not getting a grip on that shot yet. As we saw in yesterday's quarter-final, the UK do seem very vulnerable to the 0 shot. You see that goes straight past Emery and lands in court. That's a brilliant shot from James Skilton there. A bullet down the line following a good switch from Wright. Lovely shot there, as we can see on the replay. There's always plenty of room to hit on the line. Defences can't cover everything. The skill is just in finding it. That's another great move from the Swiss. Combination of 2 left-handers there is causing UK quite a few problems, and Rion scores with a lovely 0 shot. Dale tries his luck again, but Repon makes a good take. Probably starting to catch on to that shot there from James Dale, so James will need to switch it up. That's poor from the UK. Arbe's scores, but again, straight at a player. Chest height as well, so UK need to up their game defensively. Dale switches to Emery. It's a good idea, but just poor execution of the final pass there. Perhaps a little bit less pace needed, bit more accuracy needed there from Emery. Switzerland go long, and it's back to Tomasi again. Flicks it inside. UK defence caught napping a little bit there. It's a good final shot, but players should really be on their knees at the end. It's a nice switch and shot, but Swiss defence nice and quick to open up a 5-point lead here as we go into the last 30 seconds. Tomasi down the line. Good effort from Emery, just unlucky there, couldn't quite get it. We see on the replay here, almost stuck between his knees. It's a far more common Tchoukball catch than you might think when it lands between a player's thighs. Although if it touches the lower leg, of course, it will still be given a point, as was the case there. Elliman shoots, good take by Tom McKean. Tom McKean quick on the breakdown, 5 seconds left. Skilton goes high, guards the ball, and that's the end of the period. So Swiss under-18s lead the UK men by 19 points to 13. UK congregating, a shout of not bad there from Skilton, obviously fairly happy with that. Not sure what the UK's expectations will be against the Swiss under-18 side. They're clearly a very decent outfit. Although you can't help but feel if the UK can start dealing with those zero shots from the Swiss and start thinking tactically to get around that problem, then they might quite easily find themselves having a few points on the board. But good moments for both teams that third though. UK just having a fairly serious looking huddle at the moment. Swiss as well, grouping and gathering around, having a discussion about the thirds play. Seeing some highlights here, and I very much think these highlights will probably feature zero shot after zero shot against the UK. Must deal with that. Just seeing the replay, McKean helpfully shoving right around the D. Swiss team playing very quick stuff there. Good catch from Emery there, and a good turnover on the shot. But I think key to this third will be how they deal with Tomasi on the left and Rocha on the left as well. I mean, Rice also producing a lot of very good work on the right for the Swiss M18s. About 2 minutes left in the break and play. Very fast shooting there from Rice, number 7. Very powerful shot. A lot of discussions on the UK side here whilst you all watch the replays. A lot of technical chats with coaches getting involved. James Skilton, the captain, having a lot to say. The Swiss are also bunched together. Coach from the Swiss A-teams player and coach Mathieu Helfer is leading the proceedings on the Swiss side at the moment. Swiss break ready for the next period of play. Due to start in just under a minute. see the player coaches, Liam Green and Andy Cummings, talking about how they're going to sort things out. Liam's probably leading the tactical stuff at the moment. I understand Liam's got a slight injury, so isn't playing much of the competition's latter stages, so I think he'll look to take over on the sidelines and deal with some of the substitution and movements of the team. So about 10 seconds left before we restart, just waiting for the players to regroup and grab the ball. And we're ready to go. Swiss back line to start. Swiss lead by 6. A few changes from the Swiss, it looks like, but great effort from Skilton. Just sees his punch at the frame, goes slightly off as Reyes makes the pass. Took off from well outside the D though. Good athleticism, good effort. Cummings puts the ball to Martin Wright, and that's a lovely shot. Catching the defender off guard as he went round, thinking it was a switch. That's another good shot from Switzerland. Damien Arbe, the number 12, although again straight to the UK player. So Andy Haig coming on for the UK, shoots but goes directly out of court. Just a few inquiries from the players wondering if it touched anyone, but UK accepting that call. Good shot there from James Skilton, exploiting a very good end-to-end pass. It's the way the UK are going to have to play if they want to make it work. They've got to move this Swiss team around the court. Looks like number 12, Damien Arbe, has come on the left side of the court for Switzerland, and the change from the UK is Andy Haig appearing on the left side of the court as well, number 15. Point from Switzerland. UK take the back line. Rayan to Haig. Switches it for Skilton, who shoots and scores. Good shot there from James Skilton, just over the line. Nice switch from Andy Haig, just popping it up for him. And dispatched very nicely. Tomasi again. Cummings gets hands on it. Volleyball punt there from Mike Emery. Frame ball all along. Always the way. Most complicated, elaborate defences. You look up and you realise the referee's given a fault. Slow from Rayan now. Andy Haig shoots, scores, spins it off the top right of the frame. Questioning look from the Swiss there as to whether that actually hit the frame, but it wasn't given, so UK get the point. Still leading by 6, the Swiss M18s. Handling error from Reyes there. Skilton is quickly on it. Good pass there from Martin Wright to Mike Emery. Sees the defender slightly off the line. Puts it in front of him. Race goes up. It's a good shot from Arbe. Pass across from Cummings. Martin Wright goes down the line. It's referees are unsure about that. My only doubt would be as to whether it touched the frame in the first place, because it certainly seemed to go over the line of the D. Very hard one to pick, because the referee is sometimes obstructed a little bit by the player. Landing called on Skilts. Sorry, James Skilton. Must have been quite close. Probably just landing. Travelling called against Race again. A few travellings there who want to nip that in the bud. Rayan goes along to Cummings. The UK going to defender on their breakdowns instead of straight to the shooter. Martin Wright with a nice shot between the number 6 Dorth and number 9 Tomasi. Good ball. Rion puts it long to Tomasi. Look to go. Yep, exploits the gap there. Thought he was going down the line, but instead he sees the gap. Andy Cummins a little short on his run, straight in front of him, just over the line. Great shot that. Good observation by the shooter. Still a 6-point gap, so effectively a 0-0 this third. Good shot from Skilton, recovering a point for UK. UK have 1 turnover so far this third. They'll need to pick it up. So, basic mistake there from the M18 Swiss team, taking their foot on the line. Rule only really exists as a technicality to make sure you're out of court when you take it. Very few times would we expect to see that error. That's a frame ball given against Emery there from a switch from right. Yes, we could see a clear frame on the replay. Ray shoots, comes full pelt at Dom Rayan there in defence, unable to take the catch. Just lost the ball momentarily. Rayan quickly gets it back. It's a good shot from right. Just about did enough to disguise the shot so that the defender didn't quite have the time to react. Just flicks his arm as he goes down, almost like a cricket bowler, putting a bit of spin off on the net, which takes it off at a slightly different angle. A very nice shot from Rion there, but unfortunately just landed. Good switch from Andy Haig under a bit of pressure there. Picked up, caught by the Swiss. Move it back to the centre, across to Tomasi on the left. Spun it again. The UK defence staying fairly together then, but it still goes through. They were sitting there waiting for that one. You see a quick twist of the hand, and he's manoeuvred that round. Andy Haig with a power shot, which number 13, Rion Marlowe, fails to take. UK still keeping in touch. Better third from them this time. Hurleyman shoots, but it's been called for foot on the line there. Or landing. Another fault from the UK. Swiss going defender to defender. Called for travelling there. Rayan waiting for the ball to eventually come back to him. Lovely switch from Haig there to Skilton. Runs onto the switch well. Massey brings it out to the side to Hurleyman, who goes long. Good catch from Mike Emery's second line, but should have moved it out to a shooter. UK 1 short down here. Tomasi will go down the line and scores. It was a good take from Mike Emery's second line, but having done that, should definitely have been recycled to a shooter because the Swiss defence were just waiting to catch the frontal shot from the frame there. Good shot from Andy Haig, just putting it outside to the right of Race. Better from the UK again. Good catch from the Swiss running second line. Brings it up to Tomasi again, who goes down the line again. Very nice shot there, just over the line. Emery in place, but it goes in front of him, so got to hug that line. And Emery returns the favour with a shot down the line. UK playing well here. Great effort running second line there from the number 6, Dorth. UK within 3 points now. think they'd have taken that at the start of the third. They'd have been happy with that. Oh, it's been called short. Well, that's interesting because from our angle in the commentary box, it seemed potentially like that was good, but we'll have to check the replay. Got some hands to it that time, Emery, but spills to inside the D. Skilton going long down the line to right. That's a great shot, right in the gap there from Martin Wright. Again, some long play from the UK team, some more ambitious passing, some quicker Tchoukball, and they're finding the gaps in the Swiss defence. That's clearly the way forward. Swiss moving it nicely between the three that end. Marlowe ending. James Skilton with a good pickup, having a very good game here, James Skilton. Down to Martin Wright on the left, takes the shot on, and Rice picks it up second line, shaping into a good match now. Swiss M18 2 points ahead, and Tomasi goes down the line again. Haig elects to shoot, caught by the Swiss. Good shot there. Lots of hang time. Puts it around shoulder height. Goes through to Mackenzie Hofberg, who unfortunately puts it against the frame and onto himself. Mac running in on the triple there. Hofberg, number 63. Forget the Klaassen on the back of his shirt. That is Mac Hofberg, I promise you. Very experienced left shooter who's playing on the left side of the defence there to add to the attacking plays. Good shot from Skilton there to score for the UK. Massey, again, much point given. I believe a UK player was potentially touching the line there or when they dived in. That's a great pick up from Hofberg. Yeah, because Emery had landed before he scooped the ball up. That remains a point to the Swiss. Good shot from Martin Wright. Kind of finding form now, Martin Wright, on the left-hand side for the UK. Just going in, that's another good take from James Skilton. He's made a few of those today. Penalised for travelling there, Mac Hofberg supporting from the other end. It's down the other end, set up for Tomasi again. Well, Hofberg's getting something on those, and others weren't, so clearly the tactical changes is paying off a little bit for the UK. He just sits there and lets it hit him. In fact, if anything, he probably got a little bit too much on that, which meant it kind of thumped off him rather than just hitting him and moving. So good ball again from Skilton to Wright. Wright goes for the beyond. Excellent shot. A few minutes left this third, 35-31 to the Swiss M18. So the UK have closed the gap by around 2 points. Good catch from James Skilton there. UK defence smartening up this third. Has to be said, mainly the shooters taking the catches at the moment. Great shot from Martin Wright. Finds the gap perfectly there. Yeah. Left shooter Tomasi moves round to cover the shot in case the switch is made. Martin Wright sees that and puts the ball where he left the space. Travelling there. From Bayuti. The new right shooter for the Swiss M18. Another good shot from Haig, going round the defence as it moves. Dummies the switch and brings his hand down quite quickly and just spins it out around 45 degrees to the right of Rice in his defensive position as right shooter. Referee has called that short because I believe it's hit the frame on the run-up. So there's now 2 points in it with 30 seconds left. Probably a few points left in this third. Now 35-34. Scoreboard just been updated a little late there. Oh, that's a great pick-up there from Mackenzie Hofberg. Great pick-up. UK getting a bit more on it, but people around him, unfortunately, were a bit sleepy there. Rayan across to Haig. 10 seconds left in the game. Martin Wright will look to dispatch this for the UK. Swiss catch it. And there's 4 seconds left. He should not have passed that back to the centre, and that's time. Swiss M18 wasting an opportunity for a point there at the end of the third, but much better performance from the UK. Very, very happy going into the break there. A good recovery, good play from the UK, good defensive work, and has to be said, good tactics, putting Mac Hofberg on the right shooter position there. They're not necessarily getting all the shots that come to him, but they're certainly getting hands on it, and that's going to have an effect on the Swiss player moving forward in the game. On the Swiss side, though, Tomasi still scoring fairly frequently. Rice is very strong on the right-hand side, and the Swiss defence is a bit of a mixed third, perhaps. They've dealt with some things, but they're slowly starting to see a few holes in the Swiss defence for Martin Wright from the UK, as we watch some of the replays of the halves action. Looks set to be a fairly thrilling last 15 minutes. Looking at some of the statistics here, the Swiss under-18 team, the leading scorer, Declan Tomasi, has scored 16 points of the Swiss's 36. The next closest player being Rice with 6 points. Tomasi has an 80% efficiency rating on his shot, so you can see where the damage is coming from. From the UK side, we've got James Skilton on 10 points and Martin Wright on 8 points. James Dale on 5, Andy Haig on 4, Mike Emery on 5. James Skilton's leading Andy Haig is leading the efficiency with 67%, but only 40% of the shots of James Skilton. So James Skilton having a strong game overall, also the leading catch taker on the UK side as well. So much improved performance. Looking forward to a thrilling final period. We've got just over a minute and a half to go until the restart. A lot of loud discussions in the UK group. Seems very, very good humoured. Obviously very happy with recovering some of the Swiss team's lead at that point. Next up on this court at 4 p.m. will be Italy B versus the UK women. Looking forward to that game. That should be quite a close game there. UK women losing fairly heavily to the Italian women, but they'll look to get a result against the Italy B team. And then the women's final is at 6:35 between Switzerland and Italy, with the men's final at 8 p.m. All these times are in European time, so if you're watching from the UK, just take an hour off that and make sure you're there later on today for those finals. About 20 seconds away from the restart here. Lots of discussions between Hofberg and then Liam Green and Andy Cummings on the UK side. Obviously discussing strategy, probably working out a way to deal with Tomasi if there is a way. Some very, very good shooting by the young Swiss player. team behind always resumes the third period. If there's a draw, then the team that started will have the ball again. McKean gets us underway down to Ryan. Good shot from Hofberg there on the third ball. UK immediately getting a point back. Hofberg finding the gap very nicely there. Good catch from Tom McKean. Number 54, Ripon shooting. But no joy, and Wright scores the other end, so the UK now lead by 1 point. UK finding gaps. Swiss M18 just struggling a little bit with the pressure now as the UK come back. A lot of experience in the UK team in this sort of situation. It's a point there to Tomasi. I imagine he'll be the Swiss's go-to player if it gets much closer. Good take there from Repon, the number 54 from Andy Haig. Almost didn't seem to know much about that, but just stuck his hands out and got it, so quite rightly takes credit. That's a great shot from the Swiss right shooter there, number 16, Bayuti. Up to Haig, feeds Skilton, frame ball given. Rion Marlow takes it, across to Hurliman, to Tomasi, pass it across to Rauti. Very good shot there. Swiss up by 3 now. Looks like one of the points was put on the incorrect side earlier when I said that the UK were 1 point up, so apologies for that. They do now have another one back, so we're looking at 39-37 to the Swiss M18s. I promise you that should be the correct score. So Tomasi shoots, goes to the side, that's gone up, but way out of the way. Hofberg gets something on it. Looks like Mac Hofberg on the right there is actively trying to use his hands to get the ball into the air. Downside with that sometimes is that you can push it much too hard and it can just fly off in a direction where none of your team are. The key is to probably just relax and let that hit him a bit more. Oh, it's a good shot there from the number 12 Arbez, but I think the UK defence will be disappointed about that. Ricocheted around a little bit, a catchable height, and the Swiss now have another clear 4-point lead. Something that can happen in Tchoukball quite a bit. You work so hard to get back level, and then you just can't maintain it, and the other team get a point or two, and then they go on a streak of points. Must have been very close to landing that one, but unfortunately the UK not able to collect it. Good athleticism in the air from the Swiss right shooter. And that's up down, so good shot then, right scoring. Back to a 5-point difference now. UK are going to need to work and recover these points very quickly to have a chance of catching up. Yeah, good call from the referee there. Clear landing before he shot. McKean takes the restart. Goes to Rayan, to Haig, only 1 point. 1 ball left, goes up to Cummins, who shoots. It's a fault, a breakdown to Switzerland. Hurliman goes to Marlow. Goes to Bayuti. Another great shot down the line. Oh, referee seems to have given a frame ball there. He's done it again, Andy Haig. Again, spinning that round the right, the right shooter. For what I would call an opposite-handed shooter, i.e. a right-hander on the left, it's very typical of the defence to go square. So the spinning shot from the right-hander has come into the game in order to kind of force them back round to a position that then helps with the switch. But Top shooting from Andy Haig there, spinning his way around the defence. That's a lovely shot from Martin Wright. Very hard, very quickly taken. Exploiting the gap on second line, seeing it. You can see he was absolutely desperate to receive that ball because he knew exactly what he was going to do. Good shooting from Martin there. We're back to a 2-point difference. Bit of a thriller, this one, towards the end. Well held by Tom McKean. Skilton calling for it, but not too many options on. Very slow play from the UK there. They'd be very disappointed with that. That was a good catch, good opportunity for a turnover. It went through two people who were nowhere near able to take a shot, and then in the end the ball was lost. So Tomasi comes back again. That bullet parts Hofberg. Yet to be seen if that actually landed in the court as we look for the rebound. We can't really see it from the replay. That's a short there from Switzerland whilst the replay was going on. So the Swiss restart, they're 1 up. Tomasi. Great shot from Tomasi. Under a lot of pressure there with 1 point in it. That's just right over the line. You see Hofberg's swinging at that with his hand. He really needs to relax, get those hands nice and relaxed, let the ball hit him. Definitely catchable, definitely can be picked up. Ball is travelling there. I think a slight jiggle of the foot before the 2 steps were taken, making 3 steps total, plus the initial contact with the ground. So a good call from the referee. Out of court on the run up there, which means one of his feet would have just crossed over the back line. So the ref does that. Very, very clear instruction to indicate that. Swiss player drops the ball. Swiss 2 ahead, 8 minutes left. UK picking up the pace a little bit more here, which is good to see. Second pass to Martin Wright. Then Andy Cummins is on the right shooter position, and he's caught, and Tomasi goes in, shoots, McKean catches. And to Andy. Andy, good ball to James Skilton there from Andy Cummins. Nice diagonal ball there, really opening up the play. Big change from the UK here. Martin Wright and Andy Cummins are going in the 3 end and the 4 end. Putting James Skilton on that Tomasi shot. If Tomasi was still on court, which I think he might have switched himself. Great pick up there, great reaction from Repon. Tomasi's immediately followed down the other end. That's why he wasn't there when I looked for him a little while ago. Great stuff, and this should be quite a nice battle here because James Skilton, the UK right shooter, also a very solid defender, and Tomasi's going to want to go down the line. It'll be interesting to see how James can handle him there. So far, Tomasi hasn't really found an equal so far this game. He's been dominating that British defence. Here it comes, Tomasi shoots. And yep, that's low down on the ground. James Skilton moves out of court to cover the 0. Tomasi brings it just inside him, between him and McKean. Great shooting from the youngster there, really good stuff. Andy Haig moves it to Mike Emery, who shoots nicely in a gap. UK come back a point. Still 1 ahead, Swiss M18. Great hands from James Skilton there. That's why he's there. That's why they made the change. Back to Skilton. Realises he doesn't have to shoot. Goes long to Andy Haig. Andy Haig goes high. Rion Marlowe collects. Great second line work there. Race is in here. And that's a great shot. Great shot from Noam Rochard for the Swiss M18. The problem is for UK, they can bulk up the right-hand position against Tomasi as much as they like, but when the Swiss have 2 left-handed left shooters capable of that exact same shot, it's going to be very, very difficult for the UK. You're playing whack-a-mole, trying to catch all these various shots coming out in all these various different places, and Rochard goes in again, and that's another point. So the Switzerland clearly on top of things tactically here. If they're going to mark Tomasi down the other end with James Skilton, then they're going to bring another player on and exploit the gap that's been left. Andy Haig with a shot caught by Hurleman. And that's short from the Swiss A18, just coming into the last stages of the game here, the last 5 minutes. Had the Swiss gone 4 up there, it would have been quite an ask in 5 minutes for the UK to pull it back. With a gap of 2, it becomes a bit more possible. Another point there from Tomasi. Andy Haig passes across to Emery. One more. Mac Hofberg caught by the Swiss. Rice again to Rochard, who scores. Great shooting for a Swiss M18 here. Really exploiting that shot down the line, making the UK defence have a pretty horrible time there. Rochard should really have been further up the pitch. That would have been a great catch, but he was caught on his heels there, not really moving in the third line position. Almost turns around and sees the ball. So very important at this stage that everyone stays on their toes, stays focused. Rochard to Rice. Has a great catch from Hofberg on the line, not having any of the high shot, just stands up a bit and catches it. Goes to Skilton, good ball from McKean across to right. The referee has called 4 passes, judging that it must have come off someone to go to Mac Hofberg. After which a few passes were made. UK not really very happy about that. That was short. Good call from the referee there. Seemed to come out very low from Rice. And the Swiss not too happy about that. Just nothing overt, but a few sort of raised eyebrows to some decisions. Perfectly natural in a close game. So breakdown here to the UK. UK still trailing by 2. It's a little bit of a janky set of passes there from the UK. Recovered very nicely by the Swiss. Swiss now taking their time, building a play. And Rochard shoots and scores. Great point from Noam Rochard there, big pressure point. We're now down to the final 3 minutes and the UK trail the Swiss M18 by 3 points. Point a minute at this level is quite an ask. Right scores, down to 2-point gap. UK seem capable of holding them to around 2 or 3 points, but really biting into that final last few points is proving quite challenging. Lovely shot from Tomasi there, changing his stance in the air. And you sense that one of these points might well be the killer point at the end of the day. Such good shooting from the left-hander. The kind of shots that you see much more experienced players make. The Swiss M18's really playing well. James Dale with another great shot through the gap there. Tomasi through, Marlowe takes it, and another spin shot. UK not covering that. And you sense all is lost now really for the UK. 3 points required in 2 minutes, and certainly the Swiss aren't conceding anywhere near that rate unless they're scoring themselves. Good shot from Mac Hofberg there though. Seeing the gap, moving into it. Oh, the referee's called frame. The problem, I believe, what happened there was Mac actually spun that off the net. So it seemed like it didn't come cleanly off the net when it did. Strange call there, again, for the... So to summarise what happened there, the ref called a frame. The Swiss players went to take the breakdown and were called very quickly for taking more than 3 seconds. And then the UK player shot it short, unfortunately. Great play there, great defence from the Switzerland. And I think this is probably all over for the UK now. 4 points in a minute would require a lot of cooperation from the opposition. But that's one of them. Swiss shooting short there. Real Marlowe to Tomasi. He puts it round James Skilton. Coming towards the end of an excellent match here. Rice catches James Dale. Marlowe across to Tomasi. Starman from the Swiss finishes it off with a great shot down the line. Really fantastic play here from Tomasi. Great hands from Rochard to Hurleman. Dorth, number 6, passes it. It has to be shot. landing given from Ripoll. Martin Wright shoots. UK believe that touched the ground, but it wasn't given. Final point from the Swiss. Fantastic match between some really talented players here. But the young Swiss players, the star players, Roshan Tomasi from the left, continuously giving the UK so many problems down that right-hand side on that right shooter spot. But what a game from these young Swiss players. Finishes 55-49 in favour of the Swiss under-18 team. Post-match congratulations. A lot of respect between the two sides, which is good. Next on this court, we have the UK women's team versus the Italy B team. But for now, the UK and Swiss players applaud themselves. Closest game that I've certainly been involved with as a commentator here. A gap of 6 points in the end, but really the gap was down to around 2 or 3, right up to the end there. Just a few turnovers, spreading out the distance a bit. Well done to the UK men, certainly making a good account of themselves this competition with. They've had some ups and downs, had some very good results, had some poor results, particularly against Italy B team last night, but a good win against Poland today, getting them in the 5th playoff place. And I think if you'd have said to them, would you take 5th place at the outset of this competition, they'd probably have, if they'd have been honest, they'd probably have said that was about the right position. So good stuff for the UK team, and a great, forgive me, 6th position for UK, and a fantastic 5th place performance by the Swiss M18.